Hello, welcome to the House of the Spirit. Welcome home. This reading today is about the next big shift in your life. So let's start with pile number 1. We have Gemini, Libra, Scorpio, and Pisces. Your card is Maya with illusion. For the second pile, we have Cancer, Capricorn, Virgo, and Aquarius. Your card is Freya with sexuality. For the third pile, we have Leo, Taurus, Sagittarius, and Aries. Your card is Lilith with power. Okay, I will give you a moment for you to choose your pile using the card, zodiac signs, or just your intuition. I will see you in your reading. Pile number 1, your card is Maya. And Maya is, of course, about dispelling illusion and also discovering the truth about something, a revelation. But I sense in your case that there's something else. It's about forgiveness, and maybe it's also about self-forgiveness. There's something about a sort of awakening and a sort of revelation, a truth that you are now understanding when this big shift happens, that is going to require that heart-centered effort or gift of forgiveness, self-forgiveness, and also the forgiveness of others. Okay, so your next big shift, what it is about. What is it about for pile number 1? Okay. Oh, a lot of cards, but let's go with the flow. Okay. Let's start with the Kipper. Success in love. Sad news. A long way. Okay. So, this is the waning gibbous moon. It's decreasing in water, fruit stage, and the keyword is compromise. Compromise. Okay, let's see if you can see all the cards. Yeah. Okay, so this is the waning crescent moon, decreasing in air, seed stage, and the keyword is to yield. And this is the waxing crescent moon, increasing in water, the sprout stage, and the keyword is instinct. Okay. We have the stone, fourth moon mention. And the sleeper, 28th moon mention. Interesting combination. It's like there's a structure here that's very imposing, that's very strong, and that's maybe creating a bit of resistance to something that you want, something that you have, or something that you have achieved. Something that you have achieved that now needs to be incorporated into something. But anyway, we'll explore this. But there's something here about a gut feeling that you already have about this. So I feel like this great shift, the next shift, is something that you have. It's not something completely surprising. And I do feel like in this case, you're kind of, it's like you can't really believe that, or you don't want to believe that your gut feeling is right. You're doubting yourself, and you don't want to go there. It's like, no, I don't want to think like that. I prefer to keep my illusions, okay, in a way. So, okay. Mars in Pisces with escape. Sun in Aquarius with idealism. Moon in Pisces with empathy. And Mercury in Libra with influence. So it feels like there is a mismatch between what you thought something was and the little clues and hints that you're getting from what your interaction with this is giving you. And it does feel to me like it's like I can't deal with this. Like I can't believe that this person is like that, or I don't want to deal with that aspect of this. I want to explore this process because there is some sort of timing here also. I do feel like this reading is mostly about timing because I don't feel like this is very surprising. So there's some resistance in something that you're doing, and it's both on your part as well as the structure itself, because this is a very solid, like it's a very stuck in its ways, okay, energy. It's very well defined, so it's hard to interact with it in a way that is in accordance to your ideal of this situation. Because it does feel like you already bring a lot to the table, like you already have a very well-defined idea of what you want. But the thing is, I feel that like you want to move things forward, but you're facing a lot of resistance. You're facing this really very structured, imposing, static structure. Very, very structure. It's like it's standing on something that is very hard to shake, and it's very hard to change, and it's also very hard for you to adapt to it. That's the point here. In any case, I do feel like the next great shift comes from you following your instincts and your intuition both. So it's your journey. I do feel like it's something that is quite personal. It's your journey, and you need to go with it. You need to really follow. You need to follow your guiding star, and it might take a while, but it's the only thing that's really worth it. Two of Wands. Two of Pentacles. So it seems like you're kind of stuck in this in between that I don't feel is very pleasant. Doesn't feel very pleasant at all. Okay, Two of Cups. That's interesting. Two of Wands, Two of Pentacles, Two of Cups. It also feels to me like there's a lot of confusion that's created by false dichotomies. So a false dichotomy, it creates an impossibility of outcome. So you don't know, you're trying to put two things in opposition that aren't really in opposition. So one of the concepts is false or is incomplete. Plus, they're not opposing each other, really. So it does feel to me like there's some sort of compromise. I feel like you have to bridge this misunderstanding. There's misunderstanding here also. And if your instincts are correct, which this reading indicates that, there's a lot of information here that's not really worth your attention. Well, it's not that important. So I do feel like it's like the levels of the concepts that you're using, they're not matching each other. And although you have the correct set of ideas about the situation, the way you position those ideas and the importance and where they are on your list, let's say, like of priorities, is creating confusion. The best definition that I get in my mind is false dichotomy. There's a false dichotomy here. And it feels like it's like you got news of something, or there was a conversation about something, or you heard a rumor. Maybe you heard a rumor. But this reading is advising you to trust your instincts, because that's the path for the great shift that you need in this situation that is creating this feeling of stuckness or of being. There's also stubbornness. It can be your own stubbornness and also other people's, or the situation itself is very stagnant. it leaves you in this waiting, like waiting. But waiting can be pleasant if you accept that situation and you're peaceful, or it can feel like defeat, or it can feel like delay. It can even open the doors to sadness because you're kind of idle and you're not sure where to go, what to do, what to focus on. Six of Cups and Nine of Swords. Okay. So it feels like things that you enjoyed are also creating anxiety and sadness. So it's like there's sadness that is connected to things that you enjoy. And I'm thinking like that's also part of that false dichotomy. So maybe the sadness and the sweetness are actually a part of the same flavor, a part of the same feeling, because they depict a situation. So it's like melancholy, it's beautiful, but it's also sad. It's like there's beauty in sadness. And it feels like you need to find something about that in yourself also. So this is like another layer of this reading, because maybe there is a situation that is happening in your life, which is like a real world material situation that is creating, that is masking, is creating a veil, is masking something deeper. And once you understand that there are sorry, there are some conversations that are creating false dichotomies, once that mist dissipates and that veil is torn away, you see that actually there was something deeper that was being suppressed, or that was being hidden, and that you really need to access, because it's a part of your path. Because it's a part of your path to see the beauty in sadness, to see beauty in sadness. This is so so I feel like I'm talking to a collective that has very strong emotions and very deep emotions, and when they can't really address those, they get sick, they get they doubt themselves, they get depressed. Even like acknowledging sadness and melancholy can create a lot of happiness, because you get to understand the process that are going on within you, and you get to have some sort of dignity, because life isn't always just roses and sweetness. There's the other side, but it doesn't mean that it's ugly, or that it should be hidden, or that it's not worth the acknowledgement and the devotion and attention. Okay. Queen of Swords, Ace of Swords, and the Magician. So it feels to me like you're kind of fast-paced and at the moment more detached, or trying to be more detached, but it's creating the veil. So that like just go and do things and talk to people, and that more proactive approach can be very draining, if that's your case. If it's not too draining, I would consider that maybe that very hectic and kind of detached, at least detached from this, okay, can be masking something very important. It can be obscuring, veiling something very important. It does feel like life at this moment can be kind of an illusionist trick. So the illusionist, the magician, is making movements with the right hand and it's very mesmerizing, but he's doing the magic with the left and you're not seeing it. So you're kind of hypnotized or you're very focused on something and there's this sadness that comes and you don't know why. And that's because there's this false dichotomy, there's this false opposition in your mind that is poisoning something, like it's poisoning something that you enjoy doing. Six of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, and the Fool. So it feels like your next big shift comes with a great emotional transformation. It comes with leaving behind what is behind, especially in terms of emotions, like leaving the past in the past. So it's a transmutation, transformation. It's like your body wants to rebuild the cells and it needs different elements, and especially that we are almost entirely made of water. Water is so important. Water is so important. I don't know why. Maybe drinking water is very important, the type of water that you drink or what you add to your drinks. Like if it's juice, if it's tea, there's something about that. I just had this vision of this drink. And it is a great emotional shift that you're going through. And maybe you are already going through this. But by the end of this, you will see something beautiful and sad at the same time. But it feels like it's going to kind of unleash you. So it's really interesting. It feels like after you go through this, you're going to be very wild, but in a good way. Like you're going to be lighter. You're also going to have more fun. If you allow this false dichotomy that I don't know the specifics about, if you allow it to be torn like a veil, so what area of life is this false dichotomy? Because it's so central to your reading, and this is a very mental energy that is keeping you back. So there's a lot of mental kind of puzzles that you're trying to fit together, and it's not only different pieces, it's like different puzzles at the same time, or games, like mind games. There are mind games here, and maybe you're kind of a part of it, but you're not. You want to follow your intuition, like you sense that something's wrong, or someone is um, not completely aligned. Someone is not completely true, and you want that truth. You're really focused on that, but it's really like an illusionist trick, because you shouldn't focus on that. You should focus on something else, and that is that false dichotomy. So what is that false dichotomy about? Temperance. So this is exactly mixing two opposing ingredients and achieving a synthesis. But it's also important, this sentence is really, really beautiful, and it's related to alchemy. It's about the Philosopher's Stone, and it says, visit the interior of the earth, and by rectifying or refining, discovering the specificities, going into detail, by rectifying, you will discover the hidden stone. So it feels like you have to listen to yourself. You really have to go into your inner, the interior of the earth. So the inner you, listen to your intuition and instinct. There's something about water. I don't know what it is. There's something about the ingestion of water and the elements that you put in it. There's something about drinking, what you drink. And this false dichotomy is really reinforced by the Temperance card, because the Temperance is the solving of paradoxes, the merging of opposing forces. It's the synthesis. So if there's a contradiction inside yourself, some sort of cognitive dissonance, it needs you to address it, because that's the key to your next big shift, because it comes from clearing away the veil that is between you and something that is sad and beautiful, but that you really, really love. Something that you love that is now surrounded by sadness. That's what I see. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 2, your card is Freya. And the keyword is sexuality. And Freya is inviting you to explore your sexuality. So to understand how you see your sexuality, how you think about it, and also how you use that vital primal energy to animate you, to inspire you, and how it interacts with the world around you, respectfully and with dignity. So, very beautiful. I love the movement on this card. So maybe there's something about dancing or movement. Okay, so let's see. What is the next shift about for pile number 2? What is the next big shift? Wow, okay. What is the next big shift about for pile number 2? Okay. So let's start with the Kipper cards. Unexpected money. Court, and Sad News. Okay. This is the first quarter moon, increasing in air, leaf stage, adaptability. Okay. We have the waxing gibbous moon, increasing in air, the flower bud stage with promotion. Okay, this is all the air element. And this is the waning gibbous moon, decreasing in air, fruit stage with reputation. Okay. Then we have the scepter, 14th moon mansion, Isis, and 18th moon mansion with sacrifice. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have for your next big shift? Jupiter in Capricorn with control. Jupiter in Taurus with status. Venus in Cancer with birth. Okay, let's be and Mercury in Cancer with intuition. So it seems like some sort of quest for status or for some stability, especially about work, career, something about work, around work and career, that is requiring, it's very I feel it's like it's very draining in a sense that it's creating a lot of emotional extremes, and it's creating a lot of instability emotionally, spiritually. It feels like the next great shift in your life comes from you realizing something about that quest is off, is not what you want. So I feel like you're redirecting your vitality. So your primal energy is being redirected into something that is really important to you. You're really like your baby. The thing that is really precious to you, the thing that you really want to protect, that you want to nurture, that you want to see grow, that you want to expand. And it's also part of your spiritual path here with intuition. So I feel like you're great. The next big shift is a readjustment in your objectives, in the way you use your primal energy, your vital energy, the way you use your vitality. Because also there's maybe a little bit of too much investment in the career aspect of your life. If that's your case, if this is really draining your energy at the moment, maybe consider that maybe you're putting too much energy there, and that it's requiring too much. It's like this person is completely naked and they have nothing else to offer. So they're really giving everything they have to that quest. And it does feel like there's some sort of rebalancing here. And it's also not in what I see here, it's not that damaging to your career to focus on something else, maybe quite the contrary, quite the opposite. Okay, we have justice. Harmonizing, rebalancing. The Emperor. Six of arrows or swords. Queen of Cups. Ten of Wands. Yeah, you need to give much more attention to how you feel, because there are a lot of emotional extremes that might be creating sadness. They might be, they're draining they're draining your vitality. These emotional extremes are draining your vitality. So you really need to take care and balance those and to be more stable. I feel like you're already thinking of this. I don't see this as a surprise. It doesn't come as a surprise. Maybe you're already working on this. Nine of Pentacles. Six of Wands. The Wheel. Nine of Swords. Ten of Cups. The Hermit. So this is really clear. To me, it's like, take time for yourself. Take time for yourself, because if you trust this, if you focus on like the wheel of things happening, the wheel, if you're focusing on the changes, you're not seeing the stability. So you have to ground yourself in your experience. Maybe, so in your case, I would also advise you to not really listen too much to outside opinions, to like watching videos or seeing, how other people do it or how others adapt. It doesn't matter for your situation at the moment, because now I would say that you have all the information that you need, maybe too much information actually. And now you need to focus on your experience, to be very centered on your own experience, your own point of view, so that you can synthesize that information and that it can be useful for your case, that it can be applied to your practical experience. So don't worry about how other people will see you if you take more time for yourself, because it's all a part of the deal here, okay? You have to be more stable emotionally so that you can move forward and you can be creative, so that you can also protect the things that are most precious to you, so you have energy to work, and you're also present for others, because if you're so drained, there's no way you can be there for other people and that you can be available to do anything at all. So meditation, all kinds of healing that you can do for yourself and that you're comfortable with, especially types of healing that are stabilizing, that are slowing down your emotions, because it feels like it's like it's too amplified. There's too much amplitude. It's too down and it's too high. So too hyper, too slow. Okay? So there needs to be a rebalancing, and it comes from focusing on your experience. It's very, very useful to listen to others and to see other people's example. It's very useful to learn, to study, but I actually feel like right now there's too much information. You need to see your truth now. Spending time with yourself, with your body. So resetting your emotions can also be done with spending time with your body, taking care of your body like you would take care of a baby, like your mother took care of you if that's your case, or your parent. So I would say that this will actually somehow increase your reputation. Like self-care will also be, maybe it will make you glow. It will make you glow. It will make you be seen by others as a good example of what to follow. Like, okay, that person is doing something right. They're taking care of their situation. So it doesn't mean that you have to give up the things that you like doing, or your projects, or the things that are worrisome or that require your attention, that you are responsible for. You also have a responsibility to yourself and to your own feelings. So imagine the person or the situation that you worry the most about, that you're most focused on. Like, I really want this to work. There's this detail, there's this thing that I really wanted to be good. Like, can I change this? What can I do? What, like really trying to work on that situation. So imagine that. Now, instead of something outside of yourself, put yourself there. Imagine that the thing that you worry about the most, and the thing that's most tender and in need of nourishment, is yourself. And then practice that. I would say that your next great shift comes from that understanding of how to take care of yourself, what is the best use for your energy. And don't worry about the rest. Don't worry about the outside for now. I would say, if this applies to your situation, if it resonates with you, I wouldn't worry too much about the outside. Although I know we have responsibilities, we all have things that we have to attend to. But when you get the chance to take care of yourself and to be by yourself if you need to reach or to reach out to people that you know are good counsel, they're good, like a good therapist, something that you really need, something that you think is really useful for your case. Don't feel guilty, don't feel like you're draining to other people, or that you're bothering other people, that you're a nuisance for needing that. It feels like going back to basics also with Freya, with sexuality. Back to basics, back to the basic building blocks of your vitality, of your inspiration, of the elements that you use to create, the very basic ones. The next big shift comes from the understanding of how to go into that flow, that creative flow again. And it's about harmony. We have court and justice. It's about harmony. And I also, yeah, now I see something else that's really important to say. So now that I'm seeing court and justice and also the wheel, it feels to me like something was being forced. Like you were trying to force something, but it's good to just let it flow. Take care of yourself first and just let it flow before you address it. Because I feel like you will address it further down the line, but first you need to deal with these extremes. You need to deal with the reharmonizing of yourself at the moment and not really worry about what's happening outside of you. Because eventually the flow will come. And what's really important, apart from what's happening around you, is that you feel at peace with your own feelings and that you can inhabit your body with happiness and vitality and joy, so that you can find joy in your body. Because as you can see here, birth, a baby is inside your body first. So what is inside you at the moment is a bit more important than what is happening outside. Because I do feel like the outside is kind of, it's okay, it's fine, it's safe. It feels like it's safe, although there might be challenges, yes. There might be things happening that really, they're very, very, how do I create, how do I say this? How do I create this? Well, how do I create, yeah. How do I create this? This might be a question that's on your mind frequently. How do I create this? And maybe there's some sort of status and reputation that you really need to maintain because you have promotion. And it's like you're trying to be something that's really important so that you can achieve something else. And that's okay. That's fine. It feels like that's going to continue just fine, even if you withdraw a bit, and even if you go to that tender place, that place that's not really public, let's say, that's not what people see. It's a deeper, sweeter, gentler place. It's also more forgiving, more playful, more spontaneous also, much more simple. It's like uncomplicating something. Yes, so this is your next big shift. It's what it is about. It's understanding that although you're trying to do something that's really important to you, meaningful, for now, it's more important to address the instability, the emotional instability, and not worry about your crown. So not worry about your dignity and your honor and the things that other people see about you, because they're still going to respect you if you decide to be a little bit more down to earth, playful, simple, and even if you want to retreat a little bit, it feels like everyone will respect you even more for that. Beautiful. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm also available for personal readings at the moment. You can find my email in the description box below. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 3, your card is Lilith, which is all about embracing your power. Very simply, even if it is the power to walk away from something. Okay, I don't know why I thought of that, but there it is. The great shift that is coming for you. Pile number 3. What is your next big shift? Okay. So we start with the good gentleman. High honors. And military person. I don't know why, but I'm drawn to the horse. This is a unicorn, of course, and it's very tiny. Maybe something that grows into a role. Something, or you grow into a specific role. You're growing into a role. Ishtar. Interesting. And the musician, second moon mansion. So Ishtar is I believe it's the Akkadian name for the Sumerian goddess Inanna. And Lilith is the Hebrew name for the same entity. So a clear presence in this reading of this archetype, which is, in the case of Lilith, a spirit of rebellion, independence, autonomy, of selfhood. I would say that this is talking about a process of growing into a position of power over a period of time. And with the musician here, I would say that you will have an opportunity that comes out of this. Okay, so just confirming the concept here is almost the same of this card, because according to the guidebook, it represents being adaptable. Of course, Ishtar, Inanna, Lilith, these are all representations of an energy that's much more than that. But specifically in this case, adaptability. I would say that you will have to fit into a role, because you're getting a great opportunity. That's the great shift that's coming for you. It's so clear. So this is the first quarter, increasing in air, leaf stage, adaptability. It feels like it's a moment. So this big shift that's going to happen is going to be like that, like snapping of fingers. It seems like it's going to be very instantaneous. You're going to get an opportunity, you're going to get a call, you're going to be summoned, be called to exercise a role, to get a job, to get something that you have worked for, And it feels like someone sees something in you. They want to bless you with this opportunity. And that's where the shift comes from. Saturn in Scorpio. Sun in Aquarius with idealism. Sorry, I didn't say the keyword inheritance. So maybe someone is giving you something very valuable. And they might be a family member or not. They might be someone who just admires your work. Saturn in Aquarius with eccentricity. And Mars in Aries with impulsiveness. That's the moment. This is really well defined. This is someone who sees in you a very specific set of characteristics, of skills, a certain character. They see in you a certain dignity, a worthiness. Let's use some tarot. King of Bows with Adder. There's a lot of snakes. Moon on water. And the blasted oak. Okay. I don't think that you will see this coming though, because although you've worked for it, when the moment comes, you will be caught off guard. It will change things completely. The Mirror. And this is the Hanged Man. And the Seer. Look at that. Major Arcana. Almost all of the cards. So it almost seems like prophetic. There's something prophetic, profoundly spiritual about this. Maybe it's something about service, because you have military person. You'll be called to serve. And it's going to feel like it was meant for you all your life. It feels like accomplishing a great mission in life, or being in the position to express your spiritual mission. Very specific to you. It seems like it's almost tailor-made. It's almost tailored for you, this opportunity. The Sun of Life. Two of Cups with attraction. Eight of Arrows with struggle. King of Arrows with the Kingfisher. The Guardian. This is the Devil card. And the Three of Arrows with jealousy. Okay. It seems like it's something that will require you to show a lot of spiritual strength and stamina, but it's something that gives your life a lot of meaning. So the best example I can find is, there are people who they really have this very acute sense of their spiritual mission in life, and they're able like to go through situations and see other people like suffering, for instance, like firefighters, nurses, first responders. They have this, I think it's like superhuman, like supernatural almost, uh, strength, and especially the spiritual resilience to go through those experiences, to help other people go through those experiences, and to be empathic, and but not to suffer with them. So to be so strong, so powerful, so resilient, that nothing can burn you, nothing can touch you. So it feels like that happens because those people have a spiritual strength that is connected to a mission they have here on earth. And that sense of purpose and mission turns all that suffering into power, into spiritual power. Because maybe most people would feel like paralyzed with the fear, with the shock even. But these people, they turn that suffering, they turn that cruelty, that even violence that they witness into power. Like that just gives me more motivation to help more people. It just reinforces that their mission. So that's this beautiful cycle. In the face of fear, being fearless, and I don't know. So there's something about that kind of sense of purpose and mission that I feel like is going to be awakened in you when you get this opportunity, because there's a clear divide here in the reading. So when I see this, I call these like towers. So they seem to make this clear division in the reading, and I can sense this before and after energy. And I can also sense that there's if this is like a timeline, imagine that this is a timeline. And when you get to this moment, it's going to be very quick. It's going to be like snap. So that's a life-changing moment, that you'll be called to a higher mission in your life. So this can be like the example that I gave you, but it can also be a metaphor for you being awakened somehow to serve your purpose and to be completely in your power, so that you use your full power, your full capacity, all your skills, that you are fully engaged and involved with your life in a way that helps you accomplish your spiritual mission here on earth. So I'm also speaking to people who are involved in the spiritual community somehow, channelers, healers, people who are in contact with the other side, with the other worldly. And I feel like there's going to be a clear moment that's going to be the great shift for you. There's going to be a clear moment very soon, well, when you'll realize your true calling here. Okay, so maybe we can get a bit more information about that moment, about this specific moment. How? Nine of Stones with tradition. Page of Vessels with otter. Two of Bows, decision. It's because you'll make a decision to grow into your power. It's because you'll make a decision to take up that mantle, to have that responsibility. It's going to be a transitional moment, like an initiation. So maybe if you're studying a specific spiritual tradition, this will happen in an initiation. So maybe you're looking forward to some sort of event, or a gathering, a ritual, a very important ritual, and you'll be initiated into some sort of mystery, into a wisdom that will awaken something in you. And it's interesting that I see that when that awakening happens, there's something a bit, how do I say this without scaring you? Because this card it's like a test. It's a bit of a test. So it's the devil, right? And the guardian, he's guarding the entrance. So it is a bit of a challenge. It might awaken the fears. It might awaken something monstrous. That's what I was hearing in my mind. It might awaken something monstrous, but that energy goes into this process of mirroring. So you go through the mirror. It's like Alice going through the looking glass. You go through the mirror and you turn that into spiritual power. So that's what I was saying about those people that see evil, and when they are confronted with evil, they don't give up, they don't crumble, okay? They don't give up, and how do I say this? They're not defeated. There's something else. They're not crushed by it, okay? They're not paralyzed. They're not rendered useless. They're actually happy that they found the thing that gives them purpose. It is to fight that evil, to not let it take over the beauty of life. And when you are faced with that, you will decide, your decision, the thing that you choose to do about it, is going to awaken the power in you. It feels to me like you're guided also. So of course I would be careful doing this kind of work by myself. I would consult someone who is experienced, who is also initiated into these sort of mysteries and wisdoms, whatever it can be, however you approach this. It's always good to be guided by someone you can trust. And I do feel like you're either already in that process, or you're going to find that person, or that person might be helping you like in the background, but they will be very important from now on. I would rely upon good counsel for this. This is a very specific reading. It's very specific. It's a very, not a lot of people are able to get away with this, let's say. It takes a very, very special person to face this kind of challenge and not get crushed. So this is the next shift for you. It's a beautiful spiritual transformation. What you are doing is something that is precious, very, very precious for everyone, for all of us. So I would thank you so much for being able to do this, and for surrendering to this path, because it seems like no one can deny the purity and the intention behind this. It's so clear, and it's like it's It's almost poetic. It's almost like a statement for the beauty of life, to state the beauty of life, to affirm the beauty of life, even in the face of ugliness, of evil, of powers that want to render us powerless, useless, other powers. The other thing. There's also something here about the other thing. The other thing. The thing that doesn't want you to be. The denial of your energy, the denial, it's like the undoing, okay? The denial of something. The mirror image. The negative image. If you think in terms of photography, for instance. So there's this counter, the energy that counters your own. You can call it the shadow, but for now I would not use that term because it doesn't feel like it's very personal. If it is a shadow, it seems like it's something collective because it is a mission of service. It is something that you do for others. Of course you do it for yourself, but that aspect of serving others, it seems like it's the biggest opportunity for you to express your mission here. Beautiful. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm also available for personal readings at the moment, so you can find my email in the description box below. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye.